Welcome to Understanding Depression, the podcast where we explore the many faces of mental health with empathy, insight, and honesty. I'm so glad you're here with us today. As always, I invite you to listen mindfully. Take your time, notice what resonates, and allow yourself to pause whenever you need to. If this content speaks to you, or you believe someone in your circle could benefit from it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. You never know who might be silently struggling and find comfort in what we uncover together. Today's episode is a deep dive into a topic that touches almost everyone in modern life: how stress and burnout lead to depression. We'll explore how ongoing pressure and emotional exhaustion can snowball into something much more serious, and why recognizing the signs early can be a crucial step toward healing. Let's begin with stress. What is it, really? Stress is our body's natural response to challenges or threats, whether they're real or perceived. When we're in a stressful situation, like preparing for a deadline, managing a conflict, or navigating uncertainty, our brain releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These chemicals prepare us for a fight or flight response. In short bursts, stress isn't necessarily bad. In fact, a little stress can improve our performance, sharpen our focus, and keep us alert. But when stress becomes chronic, when we feel like we're under constant pressure, with no relief in sight, our body starts to pay the price. Chronic stress is like a car engine that's always revving, even when you're parked. Over time, this constant strain leads to wear and tear, not just physically but mentally and emotionally. That's where the connection to depression starts to form. Please stay with us. There's so much more to understand about how this unfolds. Burnout is often confused with stress, but they're not the same. Burnout is the result of prolonged, unrelenting stress, particularly from work or caregiving roles. It's more than just feeling tired. It's emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion that saps your motivation and sense of purpose. According to the World Health Organization, burnout is now recognized as a legitimate occupational phenomenon. It includes 3 dimensions. 1. Feelings of energy depletion or exhaustion. 2. Increased mental distance from your job, or feelings of negativism or cynicism related to it. 3. Reduced professional efficacy. Burnout creeps in slowly. You might notice you're dragging yourself out of bed in the morning. You don't enjoy things you used to. Even small tasks feel overwhelming. These aren't just signs of being overworked. They're red flags that something deeper is happening. And if ignored, burnout can evolve into clinical depression. This is why we're taking the time to talk about it today. If you've ever felt like you're drowning in responsibilities, or simply can't find your spark anymore, you're not alone, and you deserve support. Stay with us as we explore how the science of stress and burnout links to mental health. It's important, and it just might help you or someone you care about. Let's take a closer look at the biology behind it all. When you're constantly stressed, your brain stays flooded with stress hormones, especially cortisol. Over time, high levels of cortisol can damage key areas of the brain, like the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex. These regions are responsible for memory, emotional regulation, and decision-making. Chronic stress may shrink these brain areas, making it harder to manage your emotions and maintain motivation. Key symptoms of depression. Research also shows that stress reduces the production of serotonin and dopamine, 2 neurotransmitters crucial for mood stability and happiness. It's not just in your head. Your brain chemistry is genuinely being affected. That's why people under prolonged stress often feel hopeless, irritable, or emotionally numb. They might withdraw from loved ones or lose interest in things they used to enjoy. These are early markers of depression, and unfortunately, they're often brushed off as just being tired or having a bad week. But the truth is, if these feelings persist for weeks or months, they may point to something more serious. The sooner we recognize that, the sooner we can respond with empathy and support. I hope you're still with us. We're just getting deeper into the why behind stress and depression, and how we can begin to shift things. Stick around, there's more ahead. Beyond biology, burnout deeply affects how we feel and think. Emotional exhaustion leaves you feeling drained, overwhelmed, and unable to cope with daily demands. You might feel detached or cynical, like nothing you do matters anymore. Psychologically, burnout can trigger negative self-talk and erode your self-esteem. When this emotional strain piles up without relief, it can create a fertile ground for depression. Remember, feeling this way isn't a personal failure. It's a sign your mind and body are asking for help. Mindfully observing these feelings without judgment is a powerful step toward healing. Keep listening. The next part will explore real stories and how burnout can tip into depression if untreated. Consider Sarah, a single mother working full-time while caring for her aging parents. Constantly juggling responsibilities, she began to feel exhausted and emotionally numb. She stopped enjoying her hobbies and withdrew from friends. At first, Sarah thought she was just stressed and needed a break. But her symptoms worsened. Insomnia, feelings of worthlessness, and persistent sadness crept in. Eventually, she was diagnosed with depression triggered by burnout. Sarah's story isn't unique. Many people silently endure similar struggles, not realizing that chronic stress and burnout can lead to serious mental health issues. Hearing stories like Sarah's reminds us why it's important to notice the warning signs early and seek support. Stay with us as we discuss how to recognize these signs and where to find help. One of the hardest parts of burnout and stress-related depression is recognizing when normal stress crosses a dangerous line. Common signs include persistent fatigue and low energy, difficulty concentrating or making decisions, feeling detached or cynical about work or relationships, loss of interest in activities you once enjoyed, changes in appetite or sleep patterns, feeling hopeless or overwhelmed. If you notice these signs lasting several weeks or months, it's important to reach out to friends, family, or mental health professionals. You don't have to go through this alone. Mindfully tuning into your emotional and physical state is essential. By honoring your experience and asking for help early, you can prevent burnout from evolving into depression. Keep listening as we explore practical ways to cope and recover. Now that we understand how stress and burnout can lead to depression, let's talk about practical steps to manage these challenges. First, prioritizing self-care is vital. This means setting boundaries at work or home, saying no when you need to, and carving out time to rest and recharge. Mindfulness practices such as meditation, deep breathing, or gentle yoga can help calm the nervous system and reduce stress hormones. Even just a few minutes a day can make a difference. Physical activity also plays a crucial role. Exercise releases endorphins, which boost mood and energy levels. Remember, coping is not about pushing through harder, but about tuning into what your mind and body need. Stay mindful as you experiment with these strategies. Be gentle with yourself through the process. No one is meant to face stress and burnout alone. Strong social connections are a protective factor against depression. Talking openly with trusted friends, family, or support groups can provide emotional relief and perspective. Sometimes just knowing someone is listening can lighten the emotional load. If you don't feel you have a support system, consider reaching out to mental health professionals or community resources. As we continue, we'll look at professional treatments and when to seek help. It's important to recognize when stress and burnout have moved beyond what self-care and social support can manage. If feelings of exhaustion, sadness, or hopelessness persist for weeks, or if you're having thoughts of harming yourself, seek professional help immediately. Therapists can offer coping skills tailored to your needs, and in some cases, medication can assist in restoring brain chemistry balance. Remember, seeking help is a sign of strength and self-respect, not weakness. We'll talk next about how treatment can help recovery and restore hope. Treatment for stress-related depression often includes therapy, medication, or a combination of both. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is a common approach that helps identify and change negative thought patterns contributing to depression and burnout. Medications like antidepressants can help balance brain chemicals, especially when symptoms are severe or persistent. Remember, treatment is personalized. What works for one person might not be right for another. The goal is to find what helps you feel better and regain control. Stay mindful and patient with yourself during this process. Healing takes time and support. Alongside professional treatment, lifestyle adjustments can support recovery. This includes prioritizing sleep, eating a balanced diet, and engaging in regular physical activity. Limiting caffeine and alcohol, which can worsen anxiety and mood swings, also helps. Incorporating relaxation techniques and hobbies that bring joy can rebuild your emotional reserves. Every small step counts. Mindfully notice what changes positively impact your well-being. Preventing burnout and depression means adopting sustainable habits and recognizing early warning signs. Regularly checking in with yourself, setting realistic goals, and asking for help when overwhelmed can create resilience. Workplaces can also play a role by promoting healthy boundaries and supportive environments. Remember, taking care of your mental health is an ongoing journey, not a one-time fix. We encourage you to keep practicing mindfulness and self-compassion. Thank you for listening to this episode of Understanding Depression. If you found this episode helpful, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Your engagement helps us reach more people who might be silently struggling. Remember, stress and burnout are common, but they don't have to lead to depression. With awareness, support, and care, recovery is possible. Please keep consulting with mental health experts for personalized guidance. Disclaimer: this video is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. Always consult with a qualified expert for diagnosis and treatment.